My phone on so I can see people in the chat. Welcome everybody. This meeting is being recorded. Welcome to Icons and Experts. We got some really exciting, fun, incredible, amazing things to talk about. Jenny Hale, Graham Scheiblich.
Great to be here.
Freedom Initiative people. So Jenny, we've got quite a bit to cover, and we won't. We're not going to spill all the beans today, but we have been talking a lot about the hashtag industry problems, problem unawareness, and there's no shortage of that. I mean, there's and we've talked enough about that, but tonight we get to talk about solutions,
which is always the fun bit.
That is the fun bit.
Yeah. And I love how many people have jumped on the posts and lives about the coaching industry problems and already started coming up with solutions and visions. And thank you to every single person who did that, because we've taken all of that input and put it all together. And we're asking now for like another round of input. We're going to give you an outline of what we're thinking of as the solution, at least for our community. And we'd love to get your feedback on what we're thinking so far, but also what else and how can that be changed and expanded, and what is your unique situation that we need to take into consideration when we're building this so that it's a solution that works for all of us in this community. If it works for all of us in this community, it's probably going to work for pretty much everyone else in the industry, but let's at least take care of our people first.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we're discovering, right? When we reached out and we asked people to share, what we discovered was that these are pretty much industry-wide problems, and the people that are actually stepping up now and saying, hey, look, we have, this is our experience, this is our real life experience in our business, these are real problems. We wish it were different, we wish there were solutions, and here we are. We actually are going to start creating community, creating solutions, implementing those things. And that's what we're really excited about, because, I don't even know where to start. There's so much we've covered. Let's just jump in.
Well,
and
maybe
if you're actually watching live, be sure to let us know if you're watching live, and then leave your comments in the chat and your questions, because we want to have a discussion and we want to get your questions answered.
And for the folk who are relatively newer to this group and this conversation, let's just do a quick recap on the coaching industry problems that we've been talking about. Because there was like a super long post with a picture of a camel on it. There were a couple of lives that were like an hour and a half long, where we talked about all of these problems. So let's see if we can bring that down to like a 2-minute summary. I'll have a go, Graham, and you can just...
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
I think of you as being on Brian's level. I'll have a go, and then you can fill in the bits that I've missed. So
Great.
Basically, problem number one, if somebody starts a coaching business, it's because they want to coach. And the first thing that happens when you start a coaching business is that somebody says to you, well, if you want to have clients to coach, you have to actually learn how to market. And then there's all of these other things that you didn't know you had to learn, like how to build websites and how to do bookkeeping, and it's a humongous stress, and you have to do all those things before you're getting paid, and it's just a huge hurdle to get into the industry in the first place. And it's also then difficult when you do get traction and you get a bit of marketing going, because now you've got this juggle of, I've got to put time into the clients I have, I've got to keep them happy and get good results and get good testimonials, but that takes time away from the marketing, which means it's like the feast and famine cycle of like, I put a bunch of effort into marketing and get a bunch of clients, then I'm too busy to market for a while, and when those clients finish their program, they've got no clients again. So that's also a problem. And then if you do fill your calendar up and then you start raising your prices because it's the only way to increase your income, there's all of these people who need help, who you'd really dearly like to help, and it breaks your heart to turn them away, but they can't pay your price. Or, you have to ask people to put it on a credit card or something like that, which just doesn't sit right with a lot of people who've got the heart for coaching. So that was like the basic problem, and then when people go to try to get help with this problem, like they go to try to learn stuff or get support or something, there's another whole bunch of problems. So what have I not covered, Graham?
I mean, those are the big things that, it's really it's really that coaches want to coach and they have an expertise. They know that they can help people, and then having to actually do the prospecting, the marketing, figure out how to generate leads with a simple process is, in build this, skill building, right? There's skill building for all these different aspects of your business, the marketing, the lead generation. And then that takes away from what you really want to be doing, the delivery. And then there's obviously the administration, the team building, brand building, all of these different kinds of things you need to educate yourself on and build skills around, which then you're looking at 10 different other places on how to gather that information and what fits you in your business model and what you align with in your business, so that your actual lead generation, your marketing, the people that you're learning from, and the team building that's happening, all really has to align and come and fall into place so that you're working with the right people, you're getting the right help. And that's a lot of pieces. That's a lot of moving parts. It's confusing, it's frustrating. And I think it probably is one of the big reasons, they say that 90 something percent of entrepreneurs wind up quitting after, and it's exponential after a certain amount of time, maybe after the first 6 months or year. And they're not just quitting. It's too much to take on for any one person.
Yeah.
You really need a community.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't become an expert in all of the things that need to be done in a business. But if you're doing them at a less than expert level, it's going to take you longer. You won't do such a good job. There'll be more problems and more fires to put out. So you're just chasing your own tail the whole time. But when you're just starting out, who's got the money to hire people to do these things? And even if you did have the money to hire people, people tell you all kinds of stuff about how capable they are, but then you don't know enough to be able to actually test out how good they are before you engage them. And some of them are not good. And you end up losing the money you paid them and the money you invested in the whatever it was they were doing for you, the Facebook ads or and you still got nothing to show for it. I mean, so even if you do have money, you're still in the same bind.
And so, yeah, that's actually a great point, because you can already be making money in your coaching business, and you're ready to build team. So who's your first hire? And a lot of people are being coached into their first hire being an appointment setter. How do you even know that's the right business model and what you actually need as a first team member? Does that model even align with your coaching? Well, these are the kind of solutions that we're actually proposing, that you work with a team of people to help you develop your business model so that you're in alignment with that business model and only focusing on the pieces of the business that you truly love.
I think there's a nuance here that's missing, because there are people out there who make that promise, exactly that promise, Graham, but they're not planning to do for people what we're planning to do. Like not even 1/100th of what we're about.
Okay, let's talk about that, because that nuance is kind of a huge elephant in the room, right? And I can easily sound like any one of those other coaches and making that promise. And I think this is where we find so much of the heartbreak. This is where we're finding the problems, that you make an investment, you buy into a program that claims that they will provide the kind of support, the kind of accountability, the kind of implementation, the kind of team building education that you would need. And then this is where the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what you actually discover is none of this is actually customizable in alignment with what I'm doing, nor do I care to actually learn a skill set for the system that I've just bought into, because it has nothing to do with my business. My heart is not in it.
Yeah. But even if it is aligned, it's still more work for me to do, and I'm already overloaded, right?
Right.
I've already got more than 24 hours worth of work to do in a day. There's already fires burning that I never get to. Right? And this is just one more lot of work. It's like, it's like, well, we'll teach you how to recruit people. Like, recruiting is time consuming, and yeah, sometimes you have to go through two or three people before you find the right person, even just in a VA level, like, let alone, you know, appointments as salespeople, people who are going to, you know, deliver part of your product, all that kind of stuff. So we're not proposing that, because that sucks. Frankly, that sucks. Been there, done that. Sucks.
Yeah.
What we're going to do as a community is we're going to build a business that belongs to everybody. So imagine if you could do like a partnership deal, and you're now partners with Graham and Brian and me, and Brian is going to market your product, and Graham is going to be organizing all of the people who need to do all of the tasks that need to be done to market your product, to bring the people in, to close the sale, to do the customer service, so that if you want to, if this is where your heart is, you can just receive that client and coach them, and then hand them back to the system in case they might need somebody else's program after yours. Right? And if you don't yet have your program all worked out, then I can sit down with you and we can actually structure the thing out and go, okay, how can we make what you do into a piece of intellectual property? And so even if you're not quite ready to have someone else market your program yet, we can get you ready. So maybe you love marketing. Maybe you hate customer service. Maybe you don't really want to coach people. Maybe you're not even a coach in the first place. Maybe your whole skill set is marketing. So you just become part of this business on the marketing end. You do what you do marketing wise, and don't worry about what happens to the customer once they've bought the product, because somebody else is taking care of that. So that's our rough concept. It's kind of like, you know, when you have a job, you have one job to do and everybody else in the company takes care of everything else, and you don't even have to think about it. So this is a way that you can have your own business with an uncapped income and be super creative and create whatever you want to create, but you have the same basic protection that you have as an employee, where everybody else is taking care of everything else and you don't have to worry about it. So
You're just doing what you love. No, yeah, I mean, well, there's just so much that, I mean, it's a big concept. There's so much to that you can actually add into that to make it even more incredible, and that's exactly what we're doing. So some of the basics, when you're just either, you know, if you're getting started in your business, or if you've been around and you do have some traction and you have been making some money, you still need to be you know, you need to be building community. You need to continue to promote your products. You have to continue to build team and keep those team members trained and making sure that they're doing all the things. If you're building community, wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be wonderful if you had a team of people welcoming those people into your paid community and taking care of them and making sure that they're cared for, that they're being paid attention to, that they're being tracked, and they're not, you know, wondering where their support is or what to do next. What if you can have a whole team of people taking care of your clients? What if you can have somebody taking care of your lead generation? Because that's not what you want to do. Or you love lead generation and you know that you can find a coach that would need your service to do that. Yeah. And one of the things that I think one of those nuances that we might have missed is that everybody is kind of flying solo, like they have their business. And if you're a coach, you have to do all these, that the idea is, and this is kind of the big shift. This is one of the big shifts that's really kind of hard to, I guess, capture in what we're trying to say. And you know, it's just so radically different that you do not have to do it alone. You can do that as a community. You can build a business as a community. with
Yeah.
those parts being taken care of. And you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah. And if you want to, you can partner up with a couple of other people in the community and cover most of the pieces, and only use little parts of what the whole community has built to support your business. Or you can come in the beginning as an individual, plug into the community system, coach somebody else's program for a while so that you've got a basic income coming in, and take your time to figure out what is the thing that's really your zone of genius and where do you want to really invest in developing your own product. So the community will become like an incubator for coaches, especially people who have some uncertainty, who maybe you're coaching and you've got good clients, but if somebody asks you what's your signature 4-step process, you're like, I have a completely unique, customized, tailored experience for every single individual client.
Exactly.
Right? If wherever you are, you can plug in and you can stabilize your income as a first step from being part of this community. And once you have a stable income and your stress levels drop, then the creativity fires up. And then we can start to get you growing and figuring out where you want to sit, where you want to specialize, and what other pieces you need from other people in the community to make that work for you.
So the trajectory of the solopreneur, the path is generally, you obviously have to have your target audience defined. You need to have a working model for an offer. Your offer has to be good enough to take to market. And then you have to prove that. You have to have proof of concept, social proof, a platform to build community. You have to have a minimum viable audience to then even have like a sense of what your brand is. So brand building and learning the skills along the way. And once you have your message dialed in, your offer, you have your intellectual property, regardless of if you have your pillars, your ABC 1, 2, 3 nailed down, all of these things can be in development with a whole community of people helping you to do that, so that that doesn't take you 6-8 months, a year to get your message dialed in, your methodology, the pillars, your offer, how to build a team, who's your first hire, so that at some point you have enough momentum, you have enough of a movement built with you, so that you create that steady income. If I could change one thing about my business, I would have figured out somehow to make money right away and do that. And
And that's the thing that the community will be able to do best, because there will be some way in this community for everybody to develop a stable baseline, not spectacular income, but a stable baseline income that allows you to do the work you need to do over whatever time period suits you and your life circumstances. Not everybody is leaping into this full time and ready to go from 0 to hero in 90 days. People have caregiver responsibilities. They have, physical limitations. They have whatever they have, right? So some people actually want to take their time. They want to take 12 months or 18 months to kind of explore and test out different things and find out where their heart is. But they need an income. So by being part of this community and using the skills you already have on behalf of other people in the community, you can build an income. And all that we ask of anybody who joins this community in the first instance is simply a commitment that whenever you do business with somebody else in the community, you're going to do them a good deal of some kind, and be like friendly, supportive, and community towards them, not treat them like a supplier or an outsider. Like we're all in this community together. So there's going to be warmth and humanity in all of the business interactions that happen between people in this community. That's it. That's the promise to begin with. And then we'll start adding extra things that you can opt into to do with groups of people or different parts of your business on top of basically being part of the community.
Now that sounds really dreamy. It sounds really, really dreamy. But here's the thing. Jenny, myself, Brian have spent many hours conceiving how this is going to be done. But I kind of want to I just want to go back 4 weeks now. The date today is just about 4 weeks from Brian's announcement on February 20. It's so we're just about there. So he made an announcement and he made some big promises. Now we teamed up and we started building team around these concepts, these ideas. And so we've actually have been doing some really incredible things in the past 4 weeks, and the kind of momentum that we built through those, just finding some of those problems in the industry and providing solutions for them. We keep doing that. And we're building tremendous momentum because of that. So now there is a fundamental success principle in whatever business you're in. If you really want to be an innovator, you want to be somebody who's disrupting and providing solutions in a marketplace, and not, I mean, that's true. Like the spirit of entrepreneurship and success is about, digging into that thing that you really want to do and love, and you want to take some value to the marketplace and help people change the world, innovate, bring a new product to the world, or just have a business built around that. But those principles are: you do something, you analyze what you just did, and then you iterate upon it. You tweak it, and you look at gaps in the industry or gaps in people's lives, in their relationships, and you solve for those things and you give value. We're doing that at such a rapid pace, and we're building so much momentum around the solutions because we have a true mastermind, and we're inviting people into essentially this amazing world of solutions that we're providing, so that you don't have to do it solo. The lone ranger, right?
Yeah. And even if you think, that, well, I don't have that much business expertise, or I don't know what I would contribute to a community like this, your unique perspective is super valuable. And one of the examples that I want to offer up with great gratitude is Jennifer Fernandez, who is a member of the community, super awesome, enthusiastic participator, who spoke up in this whole iteration process and said, hey, some of the stuff you guys are doing is actually really hard to access if you're somebody who has visual impairments or auditory impairments, sensory processing things, or whatever. And some of the techniques that are taught in this industry are impossible for people who have physical limitations or who have chronic fatigue. So one of the things that we've taken on and built into this model is an inclusiveness and an accessibility, and Jennifer has brought the attention with her life experience and her perspective onto that, and had us include it and build it in. So whoever you are and wherever you come from, you don't have to be a business genius. You just have to be an expert in the problems faced by you and tell us what those are. And your peers are other people like you and their stories, just so that goes in, so that the solution can continue to grow and become more and more useful and productive for more and more people.
Yeah. So we have some people live here. Jennifer Finley is actually with us watching live. Anthony Santiago, hello. Felix Tay, what's happening, brother? You always have wonderful things to say. Felix says, looks like we're getting closer and closer to vendor aware. So we've been talking about problem aware, problem unawareness, problem awareness. Those are the blind spots that everybody has in life and their business. You don't know what you don't know, right? And so part of this discussion is just shining some light in those shadowy areas, because we tend to find out the hard way that starting a business or scaling a business, it tends to feel like and even look like putting out a lot of fires, doing too many things, 16-hour days, during some portions of your life when you're trying to do the marketing, do the lead gen, have a life. And Felix Tay says, Dow, we want Dow. Felix, what are you? Okay, he says, we can totally make it happen to enable decentralized power while allowing everyone to stay in their zone of genius by Dow. Felix, you are a genius. And yeah, we are we're with you, brother. We hear you. Anthony Santiago is watching. He's an incredibly talented copywriter, content creator, storyteller. These are people that are going to be that are part of our community, and that can help you. They can help you in so many ways that, you know, and if we're working together, we're creating platforms that for you to build brand on, an audience, and extend your reach into the marketplace. And there's going to be people, you know, okay, let's say, for example, all you really want to do is coach and talk about your stuff. But, you know, how do you find those platforms? You know, that's a job in and of itself, to, you know, try to find spots on podcasts, try to get a spot in a summit, speaking gigs, get an audience, and also leverage on other people's brands, adopt other people's platforms. All of those things are built in.
Yeah. And you don't have to figure out how to approach these people with huge audiences and convince them to pitch your product to them, because Brian already knows how to do that. Mm-hmm. Right? So Brian will go approach them, on behalf of the community. So you don't have to. And I think, like, what I'd like to do at this point is, like, keep the more details under wraps and do this again tomorrow. Right. Get some more input from the community here. We'll do another live tomorrow with the input that comes in and a few more details, and we'll get another round of input. And then we'll give you the opportunity to actually jump in and reserve your place in this new initiative at the end of the Icon Jubilee.
So we're asking for your input. We actually are gonna, if you're watching this either live or on the replay, you know, what is your take on this? What is that thing that you are so passionate about that you would want to spend, you know, all of your time in your business doing these one or two things, whether it's, you know, just working with your clients. Maybe you love talking about your business and you do want to do marketing. Maybe all you want to do is marketing, and coaching really isn't, you know, developing a program and a course or a one-on-one program isn't really for you, but you would love to do the marketing for other people. You have a knack for content creation and you want to help other people with content creation.
What's the thing you'd love to do, but it's too prohibitively expensive to do it right now? Would you love to start a podcast? Would you love to, you know, whatever it is, or it's too time intensive? Like, I'd love to have my own Facebook group with 5,000 people in it, but I just don't have the time to go and, like, make friends and invite everybody. Like, what are the things? What are the problems? What are the extra little wrinkles in your situation, your particular industry, your type of coaching? What are the things we need to take into consideration as we, like, fine tune the details on this?
Yeah. So tell us what you think. Let us know what kind of, you know, what does that look like for you? What does that freedom business look like to you?
100%. We'll be watching.
We will be watching, and we're going to be watching the chat here in this video. We're also going to be watching and posting and sharing that conversation in a few different communities, so that we make sure that we get a good sample size and get a great discussion happening around this, because there's going to be an opportunity here to work with us to develop this at a foundation level and literally have this developed around your business. And that's pretty exciting. Like, what was it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is. So we're going to stop talking now and they're going to start listening. Get in there in the comments, give it to us. Make a live video about this and link it to this post. However you do it, let us know.
Yeah, Jennifer Finley says, I'm so excited to see how this comes together. And Jennifer, you're actually part of this. Your post, was it the post that was it the one with the butterfly with the broken wings?
Oh yeah.
It was that, and a combination of a couple other conversations that we've had with Jennifer that were incredibly inspiring. So Jennifer, you're already like a huge contributor to this, just from your incredible insight and input. Same with Felix Tay. I mean, Felix is and Anthony. You guys are all really involved in these discussions, and it's shaping the solution that we're going to be providing.
Okay.
What else?
Well, I think we'll stop talking because we're going to put this video out in other places.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's keep it tight and then discuss in the comments.
Discuss in the comments. We'll see you there. Jennifer, thank you. Everybody who's watching live, thank you. Anybody in the replay, #replay, and continue this discussion. Get into the discussion. Let us know what you think. We'll see you there. Bye, y'all.